Hello, welcome back to my channel. It is Amanda. Today I have a review for you on the new Urban Decay Stoned Vibes palette. Urban Decay sent this palette to me, which is so exciting to me because Urban Decay it's a very nostalgic brand. It was my very first high-end makeup purchase ever, my Naked palette. I still have it. I don't use it that often, but it was my very first high-end makeup purchase. And when I was first starting to get into makeup, they were really known for their bright colors and their Vice palettes. And they were sort of the grungy makeup brand. They had the single shadows and the containers looked like, I don't know if this is what they're supposed to look like, but to me that always looked like hubcaps or like garbage can wheels, but in a cool way, you know? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so that's how I always see Urban Decay. So some of their more recent releases haven't been maybe as interesting to me because, first of all, I always want more color. I mean, always. And they just didn't feel as like Urban Decay, you know? Like your name has decay in it. I feel like it should be like really edgy, you know? So they sent this palette to me. I was so excited. And this is one that I was interested in when I started seeing promo pictures, but I couldn't tell if they were glitters or shimmery shades. So they are actually shimmery shades. They're not glitters. They're crystal infused shades. There are 12 shades, 4 sort of demi mattes, and then the shimmery shades, you do get a good sized mirror. Hello. Oh, look at my painting with a twist. I did. And a dual-ended brush. This palette is available now on the Urban Decay website and Ulta, online and in-store, and then September 20th it will be available at Sephora, Nordstrom, Macy's, and QVC.com. So first of all, let's talk about the packaging. Like, quite possibly the most beautiful packaging I've ever seen. It looks like a crystal. It almost looks like a geode. It's raised, so this colorful part right here is raised and textured. You can kind of see it. It feels a little bulkier than the Naked palettes that I do own. Almost like a Vice palette, which I am mad about. But it's not huge. It's not, you know, gonna take up a ton of room. I think the palette size is okay. The palette retails for $54. I do think that's kind of a lot. I think that, you know, the $49 range is a little more. I know it's only $5, but I feel like that would have been a little more agreeable for this. I feel like $54 is the price, is kind of a lot. And I have been using this for several days. I think I've used it, I might have used it for a week in a row. I wanted to really use the shades and talk about them. First of all, these, as I mentioned, these anchor shades on the ends, they look like mattes. They're almost demi mattes. There's not a sheen to them, but they're not a true matte shade. I do wish that there was like one slightly cooler tone shade in here, especially for the blues and the purples. I think maybe even just a gray would have been really nice instead of, I don't know, probably this third eye shade, but then some people would be sad that there wasn't a darker shade. I know they're not going to please everyone, but for me personally, I wish there was like a gray or just a cooler or more neutral brown, because everything looks sort of warm when you're using these matte shades. Not a deal breaker, but just like personal preference, you know? The shadows themselves, I think that they apply best with your finger. I almost never apply shimmery shades with a brush unless I know I'm going to foil it, and for these, I would say that you have to foil them. And I would also really suggest using a sticky or tacky primer, whether it's the Urban Decay Primer Potion or whatever your favorite tacky primer is. I've been using the Alamar Cosmetics Pero Primo Primer, I think is what it's called. I've been using that, and it does make a huge difference with how these shimmery shades adhere to my eyelids. Obviously eyelids, that was weird. The shimmer shadows almost perform like a cream shadow. I mean, you can press into them and see the imprint of your fingerprint in the shadow, so they almost apply like a cream shadow, which is another reason that I would say just use your fingers because it's just a lot easier. Typically I foil any shimmer shade. That's just how I like to wear them. I want maximum shimmer, I want maximum color payoff. I just want the most from my shimmery eyeshadows. So I have foiled these. You can pick some up on a brush and then foil it. For these, I find that applying them with my finger and then just, you know, kind of spritzing a clean brush and then patting that over the shadow to kind of melt everything together is my preferred way of wearing these. This is a little side note. I did see that they released some 24/7 eyeliners that coordinate with this palette, and I might have to look at those because the Urban Decay 24/7 eyeliners are my favorite. I have so many of them. I love them. I love the colors. I love how long they last on my eyes, and I just love the colors that I love those eyeliners. I've used all of them, whether it's been all over the lid or inner corner or, you know, highlighting the center of my eyelid. I've used all of the shades. The, you know, the lighter shades like Vibes and Meditate, they're very beautiful. There's nothing wrong with those, but I'm automatically attracted to these 6 here. Those are more my type of shades. Jade is absolutely gorgeous. Oho is beautiful. I'm wearing Bloodstone today, and I really like that. It looks green in here, but there's just a lot of green shimmer. It's like a green-brown duochrome. It's beautiful. Opal Aura is a great highlighting shade for the center of your eye, inner corner, whatever you want to highlight. It's very cool toned. I love that. And then also Raw Energy. This purple is just beautiful. Well, here's the thing. I'm pretty terrible at remembering to take pictures of my makeup. I usually remember to take a boomerang for Instagram, but I don't ever remember to take a still photo. So I know. Would I recommend this palette? I wouldn't gift this palette to someone who knew nothing about makeup because they would try to use the brush that comes with it and probably be annoyed when not a lot of product is picking up on the brush. I would say that it's a beautiful palette for someone who loves this. I mean, this is gorgeous. I would say that this is a really beautiful palette for someone who loves makeup and they know, okay, this shade isn't working with the brush, maybe I'll use my finger, or maybe I'll get the brush, but, you know, someone who knows a little bit about makeup and knows to do those things versus like a new person to makeup who has no idea. I do think that $54 is kind of a lot, but I also really am enjoying the palette, so I'm conflicted on the price. It's not up to me to tell you how to spend your money. I don't know that I would have purchased this full price just because I am cheap, but I do think that the colors are beautiful. I really like how my eyeshadow has turned out every day that I've used this palette. I think that's kind of the ultimate thing. So for me, I'm really enjoying the palette and I'm going to keep it. Sometimes when I'll get PR and if it's, you know, I'll use it and review it, and if it's not something that I love, I'll just set it aside right away. I'm pretty good about immediately setting things aside that I know I'm not going to keep using, but I'm going to keep this and I'm going to keep using it. So I guess, yes, I would recommend it, but I do wish the price was like a little less. A little bit less. What do you guys think? Let me know if you guys purchased this palette. What do you think of it? I'm really glad that these aren't glitters and that they are shimmer shades, because if they're straight up pressed glitters, like, I'm not putting those on my eye. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Urban Decay for sending this palette to me. I do want to say that I think the packaging is quite possibly maybe the most beautiful packaging I've ever seen in my life. It is beautiful. I love that it's cracked. I just think the packaging. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts, and I will talk to you guys in my next video.